Y'all scaring the dude, bro. That's not how you arrest people.
Be quiet.
Here, I can take care.
I got rights to talk, bro.
You got no rights here.
I do.
You're illegal, brother. Get up.
I was born and raised here.
What about her?
I was born and raised here. I have the right to talk.
Okay, all right.
You're starting to resist more now.
We're gonna end up shooting somebody. If you keep going like this.
You know, we talk a lot about how this administration is really being cruel for cruelty's sake. And many of you out there might be asking yourself, well, what exactly does that mean? And lucky for all of us, everybody is pretty much running around with an HD camera in their pocket. So we have a pretty good understanding of how this is manifesting all across the country. But I want everybody to remember something. Donald Trump has been dehumanizing and otherizing the immigrant community ever since he came onto the political scene back in 2015. And it is on top of all of that rhetoric where we now have this Gestapo-like ICE agency that is rolling into communities and deploying violence because they have an administration in the White House who doesn't seem to care at all. And I want to go ahead and show you another example of a U.S. citizen being arrested down in South Florida. And not only are these police officers deploying violence, but they're also snickering and sneering after the fact, basically treating these people as though they are less than human. But first, I've got to show you this clip of Nancy Mace, because one of the things that the Republican Party has done is they have conflated this whole idea of masculinity and strength with cruelty and coarseness. And now you have sitting Republican congressmen going out there on national TV spewing the most vile nonsense you could imagine. Also, they can try to appease their dear leader. I mean, just get a load of what Nancy Mace is celebrating here. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
New sheriff in town. I have to tell you, one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube these days are the court hearings where illegals are in court and ICE shows up to drag them out of court and deport them. I can think of nothing more American today than keeping our streets safer by getting those violent criminals out of the United States of America, and we all have Donald J. Trump to thank for it.
So just imagine what she's saying, guys. We have people in this country, they're showing up to the courthouse, they're checking in on their asylum, they're checking in on their temporary protected status, they're in the country legally, they're going to the courthouse to follow up on these things, and Nancy Mace is celebrating that we now have ICE agents hiding out in the bushes in front of these courthouses, and then snatching people off the streets when they're trying to do the right thing. Aren't these the type of immigrants that you want in our country? The people who are actually trying to abide by the rules and the laws, they're trying to go through the process as though we have asked them to do. And Nancy Mace wants to celebrate this. I mean, this just goes to show you that these Republicans, they don't care about doing immigration the right way. They just care about kicking as many black and brown folks out of this country as they possibly can. This is not about immigrating into this country legally, because they're now bragging that we have an ICE agency that is going around into these courthouses and trying to collect people who are trying to abide by our laws. It is absolutely pathetic, and every single one of these Republicans, they need to be voted out of office. They are cruel assholes, and they do not know how to govern. Now, let's go ahead and move on to this story from down in South Florida. Like I said, this is a teenager, 18-year-old Kenny Lainez Ambrosio, and he was driving to work in his work truck with two of his buddies and his mother. And this is the interaction that went down. I will pause it along the way as it needs a little bit more detail.
Wait.
Vamos a salirnos todos.
Wait, hold up.
Abre la puerta.
Hold up.
Hold up, nothing. What?
You guys have no rights to do that.
We don't have rights to do that?
No. Pero ¿por qué?
Okay, go ahead and get out, please.
Él dice nomás va a quitar la foto, dice.
Okay.
Why does this police officer have this young man in a chokehold? They've been asked to exit the vehicle. It looks as though they are complying with the request. Why is a chokehold necessary here? Why are we treating these folks in this way? This is just unacceptable in the United States. This is not where most of the American people are at. Even if it were, this is not how you treat other human beings. Where is Where did the humanity go? Since when is it okay to treat people with brown skin as though they are less than you, as though they are less than human? This should be unacceptable in the United States of America. But this is what is happening in Donald Trump's America. It says one man was tasered and another was put in a chokehold. As you can see here, the chokehold.
Wait.
Wait,
You can't grab me like that. You can't grab me like that.
okay.
Put your fucking
Hey,
head down. Get on the
wait.
ground.
That's not how you arrest people.
Get on the ground.
That's not how you arrest people.
Get on the ground. Now, on the ground.
All right, but you're not gonna...
On the ground.
All right, hold on. All right. Hey, what you guys doing? That's not how you arrest people.
Again, why is this officer's arm around this young man's neck? And to give you a little bit more context here, Kenny did an interview after this arrest occurred, and he said that his friend here, who is being arrested, his hands are behind his back, and yet they still have an arm around his neck. This guy doesn't speak English, so he doesn't understand the commands that are being told to him. He's not being violent. He's not being rowdy. He just looks scared. And you've got three... I think this is Border Patrol or ICE. And then you've got Florida Highway Patrol, I believe is what it is. You've got three of these guys treating this guy like this. Somebody who is just scared. Somebody who's already obeyed your command to get out of the vehicle. Now you're going to hear Kenny say, hey, no resisting, no resisting. These guys were not trying to put up a fight. Again, this should not be happening in the United States. Right here, he's going to get tased. For what reason? I do not know.
If y'all gonna arrest people, y'all gotta arrest people regular. What y'all doing, bro? Hey, Kevin, no resiste, no resiste. What am I doing? Hey, Kevin, y'all can't.
Get on the ground.
All right, bro. You can't be doing that. I'm from here also.
Get on the ground.
Okay, get on your feet, sir. Get up. Roll on your side. Roll on your side.
I can't, bro. They gonna push me. They gonna do whatever they were doing to him. No, I'm not gonna get up. I'm not gonna get up. I'ma just stay like this. Bro. Y'all scaring the dude, bro. That's not how you arrest people.
Be quiet. Here, I can take him.
I got rights to talk, bro.
You got no rights here.
I do.
You're illegal, brother. Get up.
I was born and raised here.
What about him?
I was born and raised here. I have the right to talk.
So did you see what that police officer just said? I will remind you that Kenny is a U.S. citizen. Why was he pulled over? Oh, because maybe the Florida police has been profiling these types of vehicles, these types of people, and these guys now find themselves in a violent altercation with the police and border control? He's a U.S. citizen. And what does he say? Hey, I've got the right to talk. I'm a U.S. citizen. I've got rights here. And the police officer comes back with, you don't have any rights here. You're a migo, brother. I mean, what are we doing here, folks? It is not okay to racially profile people in this country. It is not okay to pull them over and engage in a violent arrest because they have a different skin color than yours. Now, obviously, we don't know all of the circumstances that led up to this particular arrest, but from what I can see here, they were complying with the officers. Kenny was saying, hey, make sure you're not resisting, don't resist, don't resist. The other dude can't speak English, he just looks scared to me. And we've got these police officers, these agents, the border control, the Florida Highway Police, or whoever these agencies were, treating these people as though they are less than human. And we're going to go ahead and move on. After the arrest had happened, when Kenny was still recording, this is what his camera picked up.
No, once you got that proper spread on him, keep him going.
You're funny, bro. It's funny. You guys sound like shit.
He does.
Starting to resist more now.
We're gonna end up shooting somebody. If he keeps going like this, because they're gonna start fighting. Like this kid goes like, "What's wrong with you? No, you can't do that. I'm not doing shit."
Yeah.
told you already to get out. You either get out or I'm gonna pull you out. Right. Yep. God damn. Woo.
Nice. Just remember, you can smell that too with a $30,000 bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that one that we tased. Can you just give me a call? If you want, I'm gonna come off it out. He's being, yeah. That's the one we tased.
So they're just playing around like it's all just one big game. Talking shit about one of the people they arrested, saying that he smelled like shit or whatever they were saying. But did you hear what he said? They are starting to resist more. We're going to end up killing some of them. It just sounds like you would talk about caged animals. They're resisting more. We're going to end up killing some of them. Dude smells like shit. What are we doing? Is this really what our tax dollars should be paying for right now? Is this how we should be treating other human beings in the United States of America? It's not like these guys came out of the van throwing punches. It's not like they were running their mouth. All he said was, hey, I'm a U.S. citizen and I have rights here. And the guy wants to say, no, you don't have any rights here. Your skin's a little bit darker. You look like one of them. This is just absolutely unacceptable. And to watch these guys snickering and sneering after the fact, like this is just one big game, this is what we're talking about when we say they're using cruelty for cruelty's sake. Especially when you talk about the fervent MAGA base. These guys are cheering this shit on. They could not be more ecstatic that these people are being treated like a bunch of animals, that they are being rounded up off the streets without any due process at all, that they're being sent off to a gulag down in El Salvador, and what, more than 75% of those people had committed no crime at all? Some of these people are cheering this stuff on. That's what we mean when we say being cruel for cruelty's sake. These police officers, these agents, they didn't need to engage in violence. We saw other videos a couple weeks ago where ICE tackles somebody in the middle of a busy intersection and starts pounding him in the face. The whole point of all of this is that they are trying to scare the immigrant communities from not even wanting to stay in this country. They're trying to deter others who may still be outside of the country from venturing into the country. They want to use this as a deterrent effect. So they are being as cruel, as inhumane, as heinous as they possibly can, so other people don't want to come into this country. And unfortunately, it seems like it's been somewhat effective. But fortunately for us, it is interactions like this that turn the American people against these agencies, against Donald Trump and his insane immigration policies. That's why we have to continue to point this stuff out. We have to continue to highlight how ICE is treating other human beings in this country. We have to continue to point out that if you are doing everything by the book, if you are abiding by our laws, then why are you covering your face? Why aren't you wearing a body cam like the rest of the police around this country have to do? So both sides are equally held accountable. That's why they're hiding their face. Because they don't want to attach their identity to the absolute depravity that we are currently seeing on the streets throughout our country. This is happening all over the place. They are deploying to city streets. We've seen the military being deployed at Donald Trump's request. This is all by design. This is a way to intimidate folks. This is a way to scare folks. This is a way to silence dissent, make people scared to not speak out against this fascist administration. And we have to continue to call this shit out. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that pushes back against this right-wing media ecosystem that just launders all of this terrible behavior for the Trump administration and all of these terrible agencies day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, Please do remember to smash that subscribe button. Of course, that is free. If you want to join the movement and help me fight back against this MAGA media machine, we have just launched a Substack over at politiscape.substack.com. You can join for $5 a month over there. If you don't want to jump over to a new platform, we've opened the memberships right here on YouTube. You can subscribe for just a few bucks a month. Any help would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to see how the ICE agents did tackle that man in the middle of an intersection when he was just trying to mow the lawn of an IHOP, I believe it was, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.